Melissa, those earrings are sexy as fuck.
I would like
Those
to
are
think
gr-
I'm always sexy as fuck, just saying.
yeah, dude.
But thank you.
You are. I mean, yeah. Melba's fucking hot, right?
My husband thinks so, so I think that's all I really.
Yeah, there we go. That's all I meant. You said the right fucking thing there too. Because I told Kat if she ever cheats on me, I'm gonna fucking kill one of the boys in front of her and leave the other one to live.
My
Oh my
God, you don't
God,
tell people
you are
that.
so that's wrong. That's
Don't
like
tell
I
people.
said, this insane guy.
Well, on that note, are you ready to rock and roll, Mel?
I guess I don't know how to turn the Bluetooth off on this stupid Android.
Shit, you're okay. All right, we'll
Tell
go.
Siri.
Yeah, go.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Twisted Toast. We made it past episode 8, where 98% of other podcasts fail, so it's all downhill from here. We can do whatever the fuck we want. We actually have our first guest.
Yay!
And she asked to be on the show. I didn't beg her.
Yay!
She begged me. So I said, anything off limits? And she said, not really. So she's fucked.
We're saying that she said nothing's off limits.
Well, we got some rules. But anyways, I'm going to start with what I put out on Facebook earlier today, because I put this in preface of our show today. When I started Chiro Sushi and originally Chiro Sushi Summit and then Summer Camp, I got kind of hit pretty fucking hard by I'm gonna say the name Kathy Col. Well, I don't think she's Kathy Colby anymore. She's Kathy Sarvis. And we were at Cal Jam, and I'm drinking next to David Fletcher and a bunch of other people, and I just got railed for like, well, you're just have all dudes and bros, and I'm like, well, number one, I'm a fucking bro, you know, so I'm gonna have bros, but I also like have Chiro ho bros. Melba's one of my ho bros. Like she's a girl bro. And I'm gonna talk about this because this actually does, there's a connection here. And it wasn't for me the fact that I didn't want to have women speakers at summer camp. I tried really, really hard. Ora Tovar, who spoke at Mile High, who I got to see, Dr. Kim Thor Adams, who's our guest today, on also there, was one of my original female speakers. Nona Javid was another one. But really, the problem was that I reached out to chiropractic female speakers, and they didn't want to reschedule their time, and they didn't want to take summertime off. And so I tried in the chiropractic world. I tried outside the chiropractic world. And the reality is that Grant Cardone was $100,000 cheaper than Mel Robbins, and other the How to Be a Badass was, so I respect that a lot of women speakers put a high number and a high channel on their family life, their personal life, their professional life. But as a speaker organizer, to find talented people, regardless of female or male, it's difficult enough. So the fact that Kim Thor blew me away was not because she was a woman. I'm going, oh shit, here comes a pretty chickie who's coming down to speak up. And I'm like, no, she blew me away because she was fucking motivated, committed. She's a fighter. She's fucking focused as fuck. When someone says they're going to take on the world, and she kind of scares me in a little bit, because it scares me a little bit how intense she is. And that's a good thing. So I'm grateful to have you on for the first interview of Twisted Toast.
Thank you for being here.
I wanted to ask you this. You said yes. The female chiropractor speaker is underserved. Melba, who's a chiro broho. What is your take before we let Kim answer? I want to get your take. Do you think the female speaker is underserved in chiropractic?
Yes.
Okay. Kim, you were awesome at Mile High. You've been speaking all over. We'll get to where you should be speaking at next, but give me your scoop on why the female is underserved speaking.
I feel like it almost has a lack of intensity. Like even the state organizations, they're really lacking. But like the times in which the females speak, the men always close the show. Always. And
Yeah.
it's an intense thing, and it's a powerful thing to close a show. So maybe more intensity is needed.
You're pretty fucking intense. You agree with that, right?
Yeah, on purpose. You're welcome, I guess. Yeah.
I love it. I respect it. Melba, why do you think that we're underserved in the female space? Do you agree with what Kim's saying?
Well, I think something that would be important to know is, as I'm running through all the people I think about that put on seminars, if you will, they do tend to be men, and the ones that do close them are the ones that are putting them on. So I think just as much in the probably in the female entrepreneur world, which maybe we need to try to tap in more to, they probably have more female closers because there's probably more females putting on those events. Just a thought.
Well, I'm going to share this one really interesting piece, Kim, that you're bringing up, closing the show, because that is really important behind the scenes, having put on events and the backstage politics of it. One thing that hit me, and one of the reasons you're on this show today, is because I'll say this. I'm not playing cognitive dissonance for any other reason than just telling transparently the truth. Most female speakers wouldn't hang out while we're smoking blunts outside and drinking hard and stay up and go hard all night with the Chiro bros. And you did. Now, I'm going to preface that so the state board she was not doing anything. She was watching us do things.
I did have a shot of tequila. Yes, I did.
Okay.
And that is legal. As long as you don't
I think it's legal in Colorado to do whatever the hell you want anyways. But one of the things that people used to come to me and say, I say, well, listen, you know what? If you want to hang, and I would say this transparently, if the world was run, if the chiropractic industry was more female dominated, I'd be going to gay bars with female chicks all day and hanging out and adapting where I hang out and what I do, because that's what you have to do as a business owner, entrepreneur. But Kim was cool as fuck. And just like Melba, you've always been cool as fuck. And you get what I'm saying here is like, there are women, like I know speakers, I'm not going to name names, but they're like, I don't want to hang out and smoke cigars with the guys. And I'm like, well, those are the motherfuckers that are putting on the events. So you got two choices. You put on your own fucking events, or you learn to build fucking relationships.
Or you become a bro.
But at the end of the day, like, what the fuck? I mean, that's also where all the great shit happens and all the interesting conversations and business deals get done and things get done. So I commend you for going hard and staying hard and not wussying out. You are ferocious in many ways. What are the stages that should be having Kim Thor closing down and being on? Where haven't you spoke that you should be speaking now?
Well, I haven't spoke at Cal Jam. They need to bring that back. And I went to ChiroFest. I loved it. They had a giant crowd. But, I like a big audience because the small ones stare into my soul a little more.
Yeah, that's true.
What's your favorite topic?
Yeah.
Standing up for your rights, giving a middle finger to the man.
Beastie Boys.
Dude, she don't fuck around. I knew you guys would get along and like each other because Kim kind of, like I said, she scared the shit out of me a little bit because she's not afraid to call motherfuckers out.
So be more specific.
I mean,
I don't know you, so I just want to know what you like to talk about from the stage. I mean, if we're trying to figure out these platforms for you to get onto.
Yeah, it bugged me a lot when everybody just closed their doors because BJ Palmer would not have. Nobody went to jail. Everybody needs some bigger balls. That's kind of how it started. I grew up not vaccinated. I never put my kids in a mask. They don't get vaccinated. It's the world we live in. They're healthy, they're smart, and they're thriving. And so I live how it aligns with that, and most of society doesn't. And I don't want to be the only one standing up for this stuff when no one else does if there's another time to do that.
So definitely Cal Jam would be great. I don't know if Billy's bringing it back.
We got to introduce her to Devin Verana. Do you know Devin? Do you guys know each other?
She's in Kansas.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've spoke at seminars together
You're
before.
very similar.
Who are the female speakers you don't like? Who would you like to slap?
To slap any of them. I would like to shake a few because sometimes I feel like they say the same stuff when I hear them, or that they're a little timid.
Have you ever heard Liam Schubel speak? Have you ever heard Liam Schubel speak? He talks about
I love Liam.
Oh God, well that might be a problem because concentric circles and saying the same thing over is kind of a classic Liam Schubel move. I want to get your answer on this, both of you guys. Actually, how do you feel being a female chiropractic speaker and going to these events and you see the rings come off on the male chiros at the seminars?
I don't feel like I see that.
To each their own. To each their own.
Shit. Okay, so I gotta say this, man. Melba, you don't notice that? Hold on.
Maybe I'm going to seminars where they don't do that. I don't know.
Well, first of all, you're probably going to seminars where
I've heard about seminars that do that. I tend to stay away from those.
You're also at seminars where your husband's probably at like close proximity, but I'm sure, have you gotten hit on at any seminars?
Well, I mean, back in the day when nobody knew who I was, I did have some students, actually, this one student was trying to come on to
Students?
me.
Oh, cool. Tell me this. Yes.
No, it's just a student, we're having some events, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, by the way."
Kim, have you gotten hit on speaking at seminars?
Yeah, of course. One guy was even
What
like, "Hey, what are you doing the night you fly in?"
shit, you weren't supposed to tell that story, Kim.
Tristan, I like to window shop the shoes. I've been married for like 15 years now, and I window shop, but I never try the shoe on. But I
There's
mean, if
nothing
you
wrong
show
with
me a
looking.
pretty shoe, I'm a look
Everybody
like, don't
looks.
take me to a beach volleyball game and tell me to shut my eyes. You know what I mean? But I'm just not going to try the shoe on.
Okay, there's the cheerleader in you. Tell me this story. So you grew up, you're a cheerleader. You're second generation Chiro.
Yes.
Okay, give us a story.
The story of me? Yes. Okay. I was
Yes.
cheerleader, prom queen, sorority in college, wanted to be
Wow,
a
all the
chiropractor because
things.
yeah, I know, right? I
Are
grew
you
up
a
with
natural
brothers that played
blonde
college.
too?
Not anymore. I mean, it's brown down there, but I used to be. Uh,
Down
my
there.
brothers played college football and they swore a lot and they made me listen to them and things. So I kind of grew up hanging with the guys. We
You're a
lived in the
broho.
country, kind of like Rapunzel in the country in the castle. I couldn't go hang out with people because we had a curfew. So I'd
Were
hang
you,
out with
were
my
you, were
brothers.
you, so my high school girlfriend, sweetheart, was a cheerleader, but she wasn't into the jocks. She was into the mysterious, brooding, acoustic
Emo,
guitar playing.
emo
Yeah,
boy.
druggy. Yeah. Were you into the jocks or were you like, oh no, were you also like with the captain of the football team kind of cheerleader girl?
No, see, I couldn't really have a social life in high school because I lived in the country and my dad had a strong whip on me. So I didn't really hang out much. I dated a college
You were like footloose. You were lived in footloose country. You couldn't
kind of,
dance? Wow,
kind
cool.
of, kind of, pretty much. Don't put baby in the corner.
Man, that's
I mean,
good.
my boyfriend, 11th and 12th grade, was a college guy because, you know, I was kind of over the high school.
Shit. Okay, now I know how you roll. I get it. Okay, so you get out of school. Did you want to be a chiropractor? Because you were set. Your family was chiropractic family, right?
Yeah, I think subconsciously I did. But
Your
then in
dad or your
undergrad,
mom?
my dad. Yes. So I think in undergrad, I went through this rebellious phase of, am I doing it for me or doing it just because dad said I should? And I know it would make
Right.
me a lot of money. And then I took a marketing class my junior year and I realized that it's pretty cool to walk into a room with nothing but my hands and heal the world naturally. So that was pretty cool. So then I signed up for it because I wanted that.
It's
Did
awesome.
you? Okay. How long have you been practicing?
15, 16,
Okay,
16.
cool.
Yeah.
And I've seen you on the space since at least 2017, 18. You doing content, speaking. I think we both spoke at Pete's Con with those
Yeah.
two fucking mobster fucking, so
Oh,
fuck them. Anyways, I'm not a nice guy, so that's why I don't get invited to a lot of places because I don't give a fuck.
well, I'm
But
glad I'm on your good side, I guess.
so you've been, at least in my peripheral, like 7, 8 years. So that would give you half the time you've been in practice. When did you get your shit down and start making money and being successful and then go, fuck it. The only way to scale myself out is to make more mini me's?
Yeah. I took insurance for 6.5 years and kind of went to work more or less. And then 10 years ago, I started my own cash practice, which gave me a lot more freedom to speak and to not have a muzzle or a cage. I don't do well with any of that shit. So that was really nice to have. And then knowing that I could charge an expensive fee, work the hours I wanted, cash only expanded my mind. And now I have 2 offices. It just kind of spirals with time. The first time I was on a stage, I think was 2016 with the Warners, and I was nervous, but the more you do it, the better it gets. So now I have 2 offices
Did
and
you get
massage.
did you get a stage time there or did you get fucking a panel?
I got a panel, and I'm the only one that has been there every year since with the Warners. So that was kind of cool.
Wait, were we on the same panel? No, we weren't. Were
No, I
we?
was the women's one when all the cool guys walked out the door right before we started. I noticed that was kind of fun.
Oh, did they fucking leave?
third of the crowd walked out. It's okay. I still rocked it.
But that was such a horrible place because it was New Jersey, number one. Fucking New Jersey is where fucking dreams go to die. And I don't trust anyone from New Jersey anymore. I don't give a shit. I love the only person from New Jersey I love is Anita Milan, and I will give her to a degree a level above. But I mean, anyone else, if I have anyone who comes to me from business in New Jersey right now at this point in time at 42, I'm like, fuck off. Because you're going to fucking screw me over, do something fucking shady. But okay, so you've been speaking panels, you serve and now coach. Who is your ideal coaching client and why? Like, who's perfect for working with Dr. Kim and can make a shitload of money if they work with you?
Yeah, I like an established chiropractor, and a lot of it is listening to your intuition will tell you whether you're a good candidate to work with me or not. Like, I will have chiropractors say to me, "Well, I do that for my kids, but I'm not going to say that out loud in a room with a patient." And that is my problem because the only way to be your best authentic self and give your best adjustment and be the best you can for your clients and your patients is to truly practice what you preach. And so, like, if a patient comes in and they're like, Kim, I got the flu shot and I feel like I'm getting the flu, like my face looks ridiculous, probably because I can't control it every time. I cannot in that moment not say anything. Or if you're like, I'm about to take my baby to the pediatrician, who knows what they're going to do there? I have to open my mouth because I don't ever, ever, ever want to regret not doing that. And so I find fear in chiropractors is because they're scared to adjust babies. They're scared to go all cash. They're scared to raise their prices and they're scared to say out loud and be proud of natural health. So those are the 4 ways in which I help chiropractors get bigger balls, I guess you could say, or become a little more confident in what they're doing.
Well, I think it's bigger ovaries.
Yeah, balls are really just descended ovaries.
There you go.
I used to, and they're ugly and you can kick them and they get hurt, but ovaries, they can take a pounding and like,
Okay, Betty.
you know, yeah, I did steal that from Betty. That was great, but uh hey, okay, so let's start with mindset because at the foundation, it's the bookends of everything. Melba, you're not fucking afraid of anything. Does this resonate with you? Like, are you? My dad used to call it my dad got it from my grandmother because my grandmother was always said you don't have to like your people, but you have to love your people. And sometimes, Timmy, that means you need to tell them they smell. So like it sounds to me like you guys are like from my grandmother's time where it was like, I'm an independent woman because my husband lets me be. That was a line from her. She was the first woman to run for mayor in her hometown.
Wow.
She was a liberated woman. She's a strong woman. You guys are both strong. Does this resonate with you, Melba? Like being tough love with your patients?
Of course it does. I mean, does being tough just being honest? Just being
Yeah,
forward?
but like Kim's saying, it's fucking the truth. Like there are pussies out there. I mean, I had a chiropractor months ago call me. He's got a 178 PVA, which is high in this profession now, unfortunately, where I grew up with 500. Like Kim, you're probably grew up with 500, 600, 1,000 PVA, and they didn't have a fucking website. They didn't have fucking anything. They just had their mouth. And this guy calls me and he goes, they're thinking about moving over to the other chiropractor across town because he takes insurance. I said, well, 3 things. Number 1, good job on empowering and teaching your people that they need lifetime chiropractic care because that's fucking awesome. Number 2, it sounds like they're going to do an insurance fraud. Number 3, did you ever fucking think to tell them no? That's fucking stupid because you are their doctor. And what I get from you, Kim, and I also know Melba's not afraid to hold back. Is that what you mean? Are you not afraid to go, motherfucker? That's the most retarded thing I've ever heard.
In those exact
Sometimes
words.
the patient will say, well, sometimes the patient will say, Kim, I think I'm just going to go to your brother where you used to work because they take my insurance. And sometimes I'll say, well, you won't get as good of an adjustment. So let me know when you need a good one. And they will go use their insurance and they'll come back and they'll be like, you're right. It's nothing like yours, which is pretty cool.
So you get the bounce back. But I picked up and I tried to steal a copy of your book at your table, and then I got drunk and I forgot about everybody's books. But I know your big thing is fear, and that's a big thing for me because it took me this last couple of years. Even though I was fearless in a lot of things, there were still some things I was holding back. And it finally meant the biggest thing to me is to jump into fear at the biggest time. So I picked that up from you. So how do you help other chiropractors stop being fucking pussies?
Yeah, it starts with the mirror in the morning when you brush your teeth, at least for me. Nobody's coming to save you and you have to be your own cheerleader. There's the cheerleader again. But I mean, if you're doing one thing at home and you're not doing it at the office, it's very important to tell yourself that you can, to know what you stand for, to know yourself, to know your line in the sand, okay? And then when you translate that to work, it just comes out. Like you don't have to remember what to say. You know, like someone caught up in lies, they always have to remember what to say. If you're authentic and you know how you feel, you know what you stand for, you know what you don't stand for, you already have a line in the sand. So then when I read the email that said, Kim, you have to put your kid in a mask at school tomorrow, I went, fuck that shit. I'm not going to do that because I already knew there was a line in the sand. So I didn't want to have that. So it starts with looking in the mirror in the morning and translating that into your every moment and every day.
Melba, what other questions do you have for Kim on this related to that or anything
I
else?
love it. I had a client back in the day before I went to chiropractic school. His name was Gary. And he's always like, you know, if you ever have a problem, just look in the mirror and you'll see where that problem begins and you'll see where that problem ends. And I think that what you're saying, you know, certainly applies to all things because really all you have is yourself to depend on. Right. And you also have to self motivate and looking in the mirror, you know, you're the one you got to face everything. You're the one who has expectations for yourself. Right? We think that our expectations come from all these other people, but that's just us saying I have expectations for myself, but not recognizing that that person's the one that put those expectations on. So I think there's also a lot of fear in maybe overcoming some of those or accepting those, you know. So I think that being able to help people deal with that, like how would you help with somebody to deal with reasonable expectations or being overly expectative or stuff like that with their fears?
Oh, a lot of it is getting them to know themselves. If they leave a patient room or an interaction or a situation and they're like, oh, I should have said that. Or, oh, what I said doesn't really resonate in my gut. Or, oh, I wish I would, you know, like worst case, something bad happens and you didn't say anything or you should have said more. You know, it's really just listening to the intuition and cultivating that and being fully present in the moment to then apply it to the next situation.
I like that you talked about raising your fees and your prices and being the most expensive, something that came from my BDC days. And, you know, we were kind of known for that, raising your fee, like always raise your fees, be the most expensive. You can either be the cheapest or the most expensive. Don't be in the middle because the middle's the worst place to be. Where do you think chiropractic should be on a cash-paced practice? And do you think even now, even though you've raised your fees so much that you're even at the highest rate you should be at? So it's kind of a double-edged question, but just your thoughts on raising your fees, where should chiropractors be, and are you even at your highest?
I'm probably never going to be at my highest because it's going to keep increasing. And then when I have overflow, they can go see it, you know. But I feel like the results determine the price. Like I'll get a colicky, fevery baby in the morning, and by 2 o'clock, they're perfect. Boom. What do you charge for that? Whatever the patient will pay for. You know, if you're getting shitty results, perhaps you need to work on that. So come to my adjusting seminar, right? But if you're not getting the results that warrant the price, work on it. If it's going to take you 6 visits to make that baby fee for free, that's ridiculous. So I'd like to think my adjustment's pretty stinking good so that the results just get spectacular so that I can charge that fee versus them baby getting totally sick. They go to the pediatrician, they do all the tests, blah, blah, blah. They get the medicine and that adds up too. So you might as well just pay the chiropractor once, you know.
Well, shit, dude, we got a technique guru here now too. I didn't even know that. Okay, that's cool to know. I'm in love with technique gurus right now because I don't have a technique partner because I don't know what it is. I scare people away. But let me ask you this. What is your favorite chiropractic technique?
I love Gonstead, but only Gonstead does Gonstead. So I translate that into the pediatric practice with the right line of drive and the torque and the, you know, line of correction. And I use the baby leaning forward so that gravity can help me with the segment I want to use. But if I get an adult, I love side posture. Cervical chair is my favorite. I just spoke at LifeWest last week, and the students are like, Kim, you say your adjustment's good, but you adjust me. Nobody adjusts me. So I had them all just sign a paper that said, Dr. Kim can adjust me. And one girl, second generation, sat in my chair. I rocked it. 16 more of them lined up out of the 24. That was pretty cool. And usually at seminars, I get lined too. So yeah, Gonstead is the short answer to your question.
All right. Since you both were around in person, RFK, and I've gotten a chance to jam with Melba about this because she had him at his home. And would you have banged RFK if you weren't married?
Yes.
Really?
Even if he was married?
Well,
I
that
think he
must
would
be
do it
part
if
of
he's
that.
still married. I think that's who he is.
I know, I just added
Part
that.
of that.
So do you think he's sexy? I'm curious. Is there a Kennedy thing? Because I've never met him in person, but I know the Kennedys have an aura of like they like to fuck, and he looks, he's a Kennedy still. Did you pick up an aura of like, wow, he's sexy?
Yes, and then when I took my picture with him, he hugged me, and some of that is just, like, Kennedy stuff, but a lot of it's confidence. Like,
Okay,
there's a
this
senator
is
in
perfect.
Nebraska who's a chiropractor, and because he gets certain bills up for legislation, I'm a bigger fan. It just makes him more attractive with the confidence and the ability to make shit happen in this country.
Melba, if RFK was at your house like he was, and he said, "Can we sneak into the closet?" Would you say yes if you were a different person? Shit.
If we were both single people, potentially.
Okay, that picture thing. I want to ask about that. I got in trouble one day because I took a picture, and my wife sent me, or someone posted a picture out there. I have to now do the Keanu Reeves thing, which is you have to not touch physically. You know the Keanu Reeves thing, like
Picture
when you're a
thing.
woman, you can't touch, like you have to be above their shoulder, like you can't like touch them.
You can't touch the person that you're hugging in the picture if you're not
Yeah,
Are you
together.
trustworthy?
no, no, I am, I am trustworthy. I think we just fuck around on that shit, but. I asked the question about that. Like, are you guys cool? Like, because your husband wasn't with you at Denver, huh?
Which one are you
An
talking
after
about?
party. He's like the behind the scenes.
Okay. So like, and Melba, you go out a lot. Like, it goes back to that. Like, well, let's just play the game. All right, here we go. Murder, fuck,
Oh,
kill. We're doing a game. Murder,
No.
murder,
fuck,
fuck,
kill now.
kill.
Chiropractic organizers, yes. All right, we're gonna put three chiropractic
It's
event
all
organizers,
No,
and
no
you're gonna
names,
murder,
no
fuck, or
names, no
kill.
names.
Oh no, I'm just gonna say, here you go, Kim. Melba, you don't have to play because you're a host with me. So
oh my God. This is my first thing with you.
you
Okay.
okay? So I'm gonna put Billy DeMoss up there for Cal Jam. I'm gonna put Jim DeBell up there for New Beginnings, and I'm gonna put Danny Knowles for Mile High.
I'm
Who
gonna
you
plead the
murdering? Who
fifth.
you killing? Who you
I'm gonna plead the fifth. I spoke at New Beginnings. I
What are
speak
the
at
three
Mile High all the
options?
time.
Murder, kill.
murder, kill? I'll tell you what I would do. First of all, I'd fuck Billy because it'd be a good time. Billy is one of those guys that he can have a good time. So it'd be like you're having fun. I would marry Danny because potentially he could have another heart attack, and I would probably end up having some of his money at the end.
So bad.
And I killed Jim DeBell because he's in New Jersey. So
Back to earlier.
all right. What do you got to tell the world of chiropractors that is pissing you off the most right now? That every day you're just like, you motherfuckers, stop doing this, start doing this. I don't care if it's growth tactic, if it's philosophy, if it's technique, but I want the biggest chip on your shoulder, even the one that you might be even scared a little bit. Now, am I really going to say this? Yeah, you're really going to say this, Kim. What is it that pisses you off the most?
Well, the first thought that came to mind, I was interviewed on a podcast that was called The Fearless Something, and I guess things that I said made them not want to publish it, and it made me pissed. So
Whoa.
don't call yourself fearless if you're not. Secondly, if you do something or don't do something to keep your kids healthy and you go to the office and you don't tell the patients that, you should be ashamed of yourself because that's not congruent. And also, I feel like the best patients come in your door already knowing you're great. Word of mouth referrals are my favorite. So if you're out there, at Walmart with your spine, you might want to second guess all of that.
All
That's
right.
about it.
How can people work with you? How can they get connected? What is your pre-qualification process if you have one for coaching? Give me the scoop.
Yeah, my website's drkimthor.com. It's got it all on there, whether you want me to book to speak at your event, you want to buy my book, or you want to work together. I do a 15-minute coaching call, and I know within the first 5 whether or not I'd like to work with someone or not. If you say the word divorce 14 times in our 15-minute call, I'm pretty sure you need a therapist about your divorce, and you don't need me. So I'm pretty good at reading people right away. Like if I was speed dating, yes, no, right away. You just know it. It's that kind of feel for me.
Yeah. Sweet. Melby, you got anything else for Kim? Our first interview.
Well, I had a thought, and it kind of ties into something we talked about a couple weeks ago. And since you like to talk about breaking through fear, which is what it sounds like to me, is that correct?
Yes.
So I feel like there's a huge fear in the chiropractic profession of each other
Mm.
and unity in a way. We all want something, but then when things happen to try to make that happen, then people's fears may cause them to act in ways that don't ultimately promote unity or encompass and embrace unity. And I feel like a lot of it is based in fear, for multiple reasons that we don't have to get into right now. But, what would you say if the profession was one person and they were fearful of, I don't know, making a friend, seeing somebody else's point of view? What would you say to them? How would you approach
Yeah,
that if you're trying to help
they
people
probably
overcome
need to
their
check their
fears?
ego step. They need to check their ego, step one. I mean, there's ACA and ICA and Freedom Coalition and all this stuff. And back in the day when I started talking about saying no thank you to vaccines and all that, chiropractors, including Liam Schubel, who will ask you if you will tell you if you ask him, they're like, why are you speaking so much about this? We
He's a
should
pretty
stay in your
big
lane and
deal.
talk about
That's what
chiropractic.
he'll tell you.
Yeah, I know, and I like him so much, but
He's a pretty little deal, probably, really.
anyway, he was like, why are you talking about
Trust me. You don't go with Asian chicks for a reason other than that if you're a white dude. Wait, I have an Asian chick. Never mind. I didn't mean that.
Hilarious. Well, there you go. You said it out loud, Tristan. Good job. But yeah, I mean, I feel like we are all here to make the world a better place in the Department of Health. And when I graduated, there was a quote that said, I love you because you love the things I love, from BJ Palmer. And if we were all to focus on that, because we
That's a
love
good one.
liberating
I love you
the
because you
human
love the things I
potential,
love.
to liberate the human potential with our hands and squash subluxation is what we're all here for. And the rest is just details. But if you're not confident in yourself enough that you have to compare yourself to others, it's probably going to be more difficult to do that.
Or maybe share the same love with each other that we try to ultimately just share with our patients.
Well, what
Yeah.
is that? What is that love? Is it actually the love of chiropractic, or is it the hate of allopathic medicine?
I think it's a love for just a person to love a person simply because they're
Okay.
there and they're lovable, and you can have compassion and attempted understanding, and I think that's what love is.
But
Hey, amen, sister. I get that.
you can't love driving fast cars and also love driving slow cars. So you can't love chiropractic and also love pharmaceutical.
Well,
Unless
I
it's
don't
in
think
your,
that's
unless
fast
it's
cars
in
and slow
your,
cars.
well, hold on. And me and Melba's family history goes back to the 80s of docs who were at Parker, but yet their portfolio had a lot of pharmaceuticals in their stocks. So I mean, I could call some motherfuckers out for that shit. I want to ask you that on that note for both of you guys. You both have probably seen these new every September and October historically in media, it's attack chiropractic season. It's been that way since I was a kid. You can go back to the 2020. It's always calculated around late summer, September, October. I think because of one chiropractic's birthday, second chiropractic awareness month in October. So there's still that little stuff, but we've seen it shift to TikTok and Instagram and social media. You guys have both seen probably these videos of MDs knocking chiropractors, whether it's x-rays, they're doing before and after x-ray videos, which I think is brilliant, smart marketing, or if they're doing adjustment videos, which half the world's undecided on or fights over, I'm now for it. But you see these have you guys seen these MD videos knocking chiropractic now on TikTok? And so I started this weekend making with Sora, my new favorite toy, basically like punching up, punching down, whatever you want to call it at this point in time. I'm just saying, why don't we punch? I want to get your take on this, especially you, Kim. Since you're a fighter, since you're intense, since you're like, let's not cut the bull. Like, do you think we should be attacking and punching at these MDs now, or should we stay out of that fight?
To soar above the crowd. So if you just stay true to what you're doing, we just need to be louder to battle it. I don't like hate. I don't like putting anything down or fighting negatively versus fighting for natural health, being confident in natural health and chiropractic and raising that up with a fight.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Melba, do you want to fly up there and still shit on them though? Would you do that?
have certainly learned that being the bigger person generally is a greater service to all parties involved, mostly you, your personal self, because then you don't do something that you'll later regret in your life. Can you secretly on the inside feel that way? Absolutely. But I certainly also think that, it's just all misinformation. And they
But what if we
still
flipped it? What if
well, no,
what
but
if we
listen,
did?
stop. Let me finish.
Okay,
I
please.
love how
You're
angry you are. I've just learned to refine it because I have to not have the face that says, "Oh my God, why the fuck did you just do that?" when I'm in practice every day. So, um, so you made me forget what I was going to say. Oh
I'll give you
yes, here's the
space.
thing. It all comes down to education, right? So what they say is just not true. And the person who's done, I don't want to say the person, but the person I associate it with is Stu Hoffman, who of course owns ChiroSecure. And he has these two amazing attorneys that have literally created 3 independent silos of evidence that chiropractic doesn't do all the things that medicine tries to say that we do, right? As far as stroke, vertebral artery dissection, all the things, literally 3 independent silos of evidence. And it's really cool because even Del Bigtree's attorney in that new movie that he just did, An Inconvenient Study, the Congress tried to come at the attorney and be like, well, you're not a doctor. And he's like, well, I don't have the luxury of a title. I actually have to use real evidence to prove my point. Right. And so it's the same thing, what ChiroSecure has been able to discover. And I just, and so I think that we just have to be able to come back at them, have the right person that can come back at them, right? That just says, yeah, you know what? These people say that, but let's look at what the evidence says.
You calm me down a little bit. Good job. All right. That's cool.
I'm glad to hear that. I try to be very monotone
There's
for
a
you.
part of me that just wants to fucking do the reverse of Wilkes AMA now with why don't we be the fucking bullies? Fuck you motherfuckers. I remember
Yeah, but then
when
the bully never ends up well, dude. They always get jacked in the end, because it's wrong.
Well, no, we have to have an arc. Yeah. So the storyline, we have to redeem ourselves and we have to go down a little, fall down a little bit to come back up again. I get, yeah. But I remember in Oxnard, California, when I worked in the OBGYN practice, and these MDs were there's this guy, he probably looks exactly like his name sounds exactly what he looks like. You can already picture who this guy is, short little Mexican dude, fucking skeevy, hit on all the nurses. He had sewed up a medical piece of equipment in someone's body when he was doing a procedure, and
Oh
one of the nurses was one of our patients, and she came and told us, and she's like, he made me not put it on the notes, and this is all the shit that goes on that people don't fucking know about, right? So one day he had a baby die, killed another baby, and he told the parents that the hospital had reached its allotment of autopsies. They were some, poor Mexican farmers in Oxnard, which is very famous for the strawberry fields. So it's a very, and he didn't realize that the husband, the father, wasn't as dumb as he probably thought he was. And he goes, well, how many deaths does the hospital have to reach its allotment of autopsies? And that's the medical world. And so the part when I see these motherfuckers coming on now with their little fucking dicks looking like dudes that like to lick their own cum after they fucking bust in themselves, I look at them and go, why the fuck are we even allowing? Because here's my take. It does reach people. Unfortunately, just like dumb fucking liberals reach fucking dumb fucking people. My job is not to convince people. This is what Roger Stone taught. My job is not to convince you to go left to right. It's to convince you to left to undecided. And part of the Stone's rules is attack, 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 right? So that's just my take is I want to start pranking these motherfuckers on our show, Melba. That's what I want to start. I want to call their wives and ask them how they fuck.
No. I can't be a part.
Kim, you want to do a prank call with us today?
And sure, can I be anonymous?
Well, I want to ask you guys about this. I'm going to share my screen. Hopefully this works. You guys got to see this over the weekend, right? I think Kim, you said she needed a bra.
You said what was my thoughts on her posture? That's my thought. She needs a bra.
I was just seeing some tilting and, just some things going on. I wanted to get some expert chiropractic opinions, but here's my ask for you guys. There's only a few people that were a little kind of, and the funny thing is women are fucking, it's like when we had Tucker Max come to speak at summer camp, you want to know how many faggy dudes called me and were like, he's awful to women, and I'm going, there's not one woman that said I'm upset that you have Tucker Max speaking at your event, because I realized he wrote fiction. So anyways, my question for you is, doing stuff like this destroying chiropractic? And if it is, I won't stop, but I'll take your answer.
I
How would
think
that be destroying chiropractic?
Apparently it's destroying chiropractic because I post stuff that it's just belittling the profession is what. That's what I wanted to do. Dr. Ort said I think it's Dr. Ort said I was belittling the chiropractic profession. I want to ask you guys, no hold bars, no hold back. Is that belittling? Is having fun belittling the profession of chiropractic?
I mean, I just thought that you were fishing for somebody to speak about her breasts and how easy they were to
This is absolutely what the fuck I was doing.
Whole thing. So did you get any of that? I mean, some people are just
a little bit, but by the way, I got
literal.
20,000 views on that post.
My grandma used to say it doesn't matter whether
1%.
Yeah. My grandma used to say it doesn't matter if they're talking good or they're talking bad, they're talking, and that's marketing, so fuck them.
That's what BJ would say too. You know, there's no bad press.
Yeah.
So is Dr. Ort, I want to call Dr. Ort's office.
Is this
maybe the listeners,
who's Dr.
Maybe the listeners can. So I want to show you Dr. Ort, and this is what we're going to talk about. We were supposed to prep for our show today, Melba, but we didn't because I fucked up. But I have to walk on fine line here because your husband's also bald. So I was going to make some comments about him being bald, but I'm like, there's some really respectful guys that are bald. First of all, you know, I want to ask you guys about Del Big. So this is Josh. First of all, he's bald. So I want to attack him for fucking being bald. You're belittling the profession because you're bald. You hire a dude who dresses up like a Jedi to be your massage therapist. You have two massage therapists. You have a diabetic fucking pig for a fucking receptionist.
Oh my God, do you know this person?
No, but he wants to comment on my shit and say I'm belittling it. Now I want to show you something else, because what I'm going to say, he's bald, and I'm going to pull this up. He works out of a fucking mall, which is fine. I'm okay with that, but I'll trash it right now. But he only has 26 Google reviews, and his last fucking Google review was from a year ago.
Look,
so
he's just
the motherfucker's broke.
He's just taking his anger out on you, unfortunately, and that's what happens when you become a public figure sometimes, especially when you're very polarizing.
You don't come at me and don't expect me not to fucking hit back. You're broke, bald, and you're fucking belittling yourself, you little fucking dick bitch.
Oh my goodness.
Well, he obviously had time. He obviously had free time to comment on
Anyways, I'm just joking. We'll probably be buddies someday. We'll meet at a conference and have a whiskey. Yeah, but he can go to Kim.
Give him my number, buddy. We'll interview him.
All right, last thing. Del Bigtree, we brought him up. Would you guys bang him?
If I was single and he was single.
Okay, we get that. Okay, I get it. If he was single, you guys would whore the fuck up because you guys are single. I get it, but you're not single, so you can't say
whore the fuck up isn't the right way. I mean, we'd probably get to know him and.
What?
You know, I know him.
I think
enough.
First of all, is he a good-looking guy? Absolutely. Is he smart? Yes. Are those things attractive? Definitely.
Love you, Mel. I was telling my wife, because she's hot, right? And I'm like, you don't even know. Not that she doesn't know how to fuck, because she but she doesn't have to bring her A. Like, she was hot. Hot girls didn't have to bring their A game. I go, so I always look at guys that are like with like fives and shit like that. I'm like, oh, that dude's getting a fucking killer blowjob tonight, man, because like she has to work for it.
Have you ever seen the Hot Crazy Matrix?
Dude, it's true. It's true. The Hot Crazy Matrix is fucking true.
Have you seen it?
It's the same as the fuck around and find out. Have you seen it, Kim?
Oh, what is this?
Hold on.
It's
I'm gonna pull it up.
Such a classic. Everybody needs to watch it. It's about men and women, and like women. It's like the hot crazy scale. How crazy versus how hot is a chick, and like what a unicorn is, and like after a certain amount, and then they turn it around on like women, like how hot do you have to be, and they're like, there's this big no-go zone with the girls, and after a certain amount of
so
doesn't matter how
hot crazy
you are.
Matrix is if you are higher 10, so there's a no-go zone. Hot
there's
crazy
a 0
line
to 10, and there's a no-go zone, which is generally like a 7. He's like, most people don't date people that aren't at least a 7.
So hot and not crazy is a unicorn.
Or a transvestite.
And a wife's, yeah.
Because there's no real truly beautiful woman that's mellow. Because they're all, and the crazy scale starts at like 4, because we all know there's
Yeah.
not a woman that's less than 4 crazy. So he's like, anything that's less than 4, they're not actually a chick. Anyway, it's hilarious.
Emotionally, and so this is the emotionally unavailability.
I haven't seen that.
All right, we got some things to watch sometime. Dude, Kim, you fucking rock. I thank you for being you. I thank you for being our first guest and not afraid to come on here. And you held your own again, of course. You're one of the few that can do it all. You're very impressive. I think I already know without knowing truly that you're an amazing coach, because what it takes to coach people is someone that not only believes in them, but is able to unpack and unfucking wind them and wind them up at the same time. So highly encourage people to check that out. Where are you speaking at next?
That's a good question. I'm not sure. I speak at Life West, the school, like 4 times a year. So always that, but the rest is to be determined.
Did you speak before Kevorkian was the president?
Yes.
Okay. So is that a good relationship there?
Yeah. I'm really good friends with one of the teachers at the Omaha campus. And so she just slips me into her class 4 times a year.
Let's go. I got one of those
Yeah.
in Phil Dieter over there.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's
You got to
good.
make it's all about relationships and shit like that. So you don't know, you're not booked for anything. Have you done New Beginnings?
Did. And last month I did. The beach was lovely.
Okay. So have you been asked to speak at Dynamic Essentials?
I have not.
Okay. Well, where do you want to speak at? Cal Jam, you said. Where's the other one? Is there any other one? How about Focus?
Focus would be good. I drove to Oklahoma. My husband drove me when I was pregnant. Never will I do that again. But it was very nice to go. I loved it.
Okay, who's sexier, Tim Young or Paul Reed? That's our final question of the day for both of you guys.
I don't know what Paul looks like. I got to look him up. I probably should know what he looks like.
They're both fucking physically beast.
Let's see. I think
Is Paul tall? See, tall helps out, right? I tell my wife that. I got a good set of hair and I'm tall. I'll always be good. I could have no teeth. I'm losing all my teeth. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm tall, 6'4".
Man, that's tough.
Do you like a football player or a wrestler?
I think Tim's better looking. He's a good looking guy though, but you're right.
Paul Reed's a good looking dude, huh? Tim Young's sneaky hot, right?
Tim's a good looking guy too. He's well dressed, got nice hair, great eyes.
Yeah. Well, I bet you two will be getting speaking spots soon.
Tim would like you. You would be like, because Devin's been on Tim's stage several times, right? And so you sound very fiery, like her to be.
Let's get Kim at Focus. I think Focus and ChiroFest would be great. I'm gonna do my push. ChiroFest and Focus is a perfect fit. You need a warrior. You guys need more women out there represented. Like Kim can light a fire. That's my thing, man. Like, I was lit up after your talk. It takes a lot, obviously, because like I'm fucking half conscious the time I'm there. I could either be false stimulated, lit up, or I'm like, you gotta really light me up. And there were some other speakers like you and Zeus were just awesome, and that's why I came back and we spoke about that on one of our first podcasts, and here we are today. So I highly encourage anyone fucking to get Kim to your event and light motherfuckers up.
Boom.
Awesome, guys. Well, what a great fucking show. This is great to have a guest.
Absolutely.
Thank you so
Thanks
much,
for coming.
Kim.
Thanks for having me, and to be the first. Wow.
Well,
I popped the cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, it's better than my first time. My first time, my girlfriend looked at me and goes, "Is that it?" Which led to like a PTSD thing for the rest of my life, to overfunction and overdeliver.
That's when he became emo.
That's when the monster came out. I was like, what the fuck? I've been saving up fucking 16 years for that.
That's when he became un-emo.
All right, dudes and dudettes. Thank you so much. We'll jam next time. Bye.